I was attending the first opening talk at this conference by John Gatorna, and he was saying about importance of patterns. And basically, people have amazing ability to recognize patterns. Some mathematicians claim that password of mathematics is pattern, because the whole mathematics, whatever subject of mathematics, is discovery of patterns, and actually proving a theorem, it is a proving that this pattern would hold, and so on. And people are very clever in recognizing patterns. There is a famous paragraph which was translated into probably all languages. You can find it on internet. We are very good in recognizing patterns. So whether we are making typos, mixing letters, and so on, it is not that important, because we are not focusing on particular words, but we are looking at overall picture. We try to recognize the pattern. One of my favorite examples to illustrate importance of patterns in problem solving is the following. Let's say that you have 9 digits from 1 to 9, and each digit is coded into particular sequence of symbols. So digit 1 is particular sequence or composition of 2 segments, and then you have number 2, number 3, and so on. Very often I leave my audience for 3 minutes or 5 minutes, no notes, hands on the table, try to memorize as many connections as possible. And after 3 or 5 minutes, I ask my audience, okay, can you replicate the number 3875? What is the coded version of that? And it is very unusual that I have one individual in a crowd of 200 people with some photographic memory who is capable of coming on the stage and replicating the coded version of this number. However, if you note the pattern, if you notice the pattern, everything is elementary. Look at number 1 and the position of number 1 and 2 lines which are next to number 1 and number 2, number 3. The moment you see the pattern, the moment you understand the pattern, the question is trivial. You know that number 3 is in right top corner, so you have corresponding lines and so on. Also, one of the final puzzles I would like to share with you tonight is the following. And my discovery is of the following nature, this final discovery, which is about to display it here. Very often we tend to solve problems in very similar way. We solve some problem, a new problem is coming in of similar nature, and whether we like it or not, we try to replicate our reasoning process to arrive at the solution. And the best example, I encourage you to share it with your friends who are not in this room at the moment, is the following. You draw a square on the piece of paper, and then you divide the square into 4 identical pieces, and then you take one piece away, so this is the shape you are dealing with, and you ask your friend to divide this remaining shape into 4 identical pieces. Usually it takes between a couple of minutes to 10 minutes or 12 minutes. Sooner or later, everyone would figure out what the solution is. But it is absolutely essential not to give any hints, any clues. Your friend should work on this problem very, very hard, and this would be the solution. You have one shape, second, third, and this bluish, the 4th one. You divided this original shape into 4 identical pieces. Your friend is very happy about this accomplishment, but then you tell him or her, look, this was only part number 1 of the test. Part number 2 is the following. Now concentrate on the remaining square, this bottom right subsquare, and now divide this part into 5 identical pieces. And I can swear here in front of you that I tested it on hundreds of individuals. The most spectacular case was actually happened to my friend, famous professor in applied mathematics, who after 7 or 8 hours came with informal proof that it is impossible. Solution is very simple, but the moment you work out on the first part of the problem, you keep thinking in some zigzag lines and turns and so on. This is very powerful example. Whether we solve a mind planning problem or scheduling or whatever it might be, we tend to repeat the same things. Sometimes solution is much simpler than we thought, and it is not necessary to go through the whole process.